In 1984, the Stirling Clansmen became the first university in Scotland to start playing American football. Since then, they have held their ground in a sport which is known for its demands of physical and mental strength. With head coach Rob Orr leading the team since 2007, they have been working with discipline and collaboration to achieve their goals. They won the national championship in 2014 and ultimately established their presence in UK football again. As the majority of their players graduated shortly after, this is their pre-season 2014, a fresh start for a successful team looking for promising athletes.
Spencer Barchese, is it? Callum Coleraine, David Curry. So who are we? We're Scotland's most successful collegiate programme. Since 2000 alone, we've won 8 Scottish divisional titles, 3 Challenge Cup pendants, and 2 national UK titles. The most recent one being the year that we're sitting in right now. There's no other team in Scotland. We're the oldest team in Scotland as well, but there's no other team in Scotland that's won that amount of trophies. And certainly since 2000, we've pretty much been the university and the team. And that's despite Stirling being the smallest university playing American football in the league throughout the UK. We're the smallest, so we punch way above our weight.
Well, first of all, the committee and the returning players did a really good job with recruitment. It's a really good, strong recruitment class. So that's been positive, but with that comes challenges as well, because it's a much larger class than we're used to dealing with. So we've had to deal with that quite sort of on the hop a bit, you know. So what we tend to do in the first few weeks is just really make sure that they can run, that they've got, you know, they don't have 2 left feet, that they can catch, etc. That they can block, that they want to tackle. American football is a bit different in that there really is a specific set of skill sets that we need to make sure they have, and not all of them have it, unfortunately.
We went to the atrium and we were all wearing jerseys, like, and just walked about and like, hey, big guy, come here. I like just started talking to him, and some of the guys came out, some of the guys didn't. But like we had a few like big guys as well coming out. Coach was super excited. He's like, yes, thank God. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
I wanted to give it a go beforehand, and one of the players saw me on one of the opening days and was like, you're going to come along, you're going to come along, and never looked back since. It's just been fantastic.
We have high expectations for everyone here. I think, you know, you probably heard the players mentioned, but there's a no excuses ethos here, which means we can't be doing with any excuse that they can think of to sell themselves short or the team short. So yeah, we have a very high standard for all the people that are here.
How many of you, when you were leaving home, did your parents say, yeah, you know what I want you to do? I want you to go to university and I want you to be really, really average. Anyone? No? How about any of you? Did any of you come here going, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm at university, I'm going to leave here with a really average grade and an average degree. Anyone? No. That's what that's about for us, the no excuses. We want to make sure that we teach you how to be the very best you can be. So if that's something that resonates with some of you, and some of you clearly it's not resonating with because you've already switched off and you're playing with your hands and all kinds of other things. But to the ones that are paying attention, you're the guys we're speaking to.
So if you're like a true rookie freshman, you've never played American football, it's really hard to get a starting spot on the team. But if you work your ass off, like, coach will give you a chance. Like, and if you get that chance, you better take it. You better grab it with 2 hands, because you're not gonna get a lot more if you mess up right away. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Nice. Good. Come on, push yourself. Really push yourself now. Come on.
With persistence and motivation, Coach Orr always demands perfection.
I want to see you get your head here and actually make the contact. Make the contact. Let me see your arms coming round. You're being tested, guys.
I'm finding your replacement.
That's fine.
That's what I'm doing.
That's fine.
He's replacing Ashley.
There we go.
As soon as I attack, wrap and squeeze. Look at that. He's already off balance. I don't need to drive through. He's already off balance.
I did understand what you said.
You led the team in tackles, but we weren't on that often. We were off.
But like
Tackles
you're
for
a
a loss.
top-ranked defense, right?
Yeah.
So if you're the top-ranked defense,
So you're saying we're the top ranked defense?
what I said was you led the team in stupidity. That's what I said.
No, but you just went. You led the team in tackles, like.
I have another idea, Coach Ashley.
I'm not coach.
Then you go. You're another coach.
Some of them will be moved to the development squad, which effectively means that they get the year to try and improve their strength, their speed, their overall ability. But there are at least, in my opinion, there are at least 3 people, possibly 4, that will definitely play this year.
Tell you what, I'm feeling good today. I'll let you off. One time. You thought? Shut up! Right, listen up, guys. Listen up. I've got to tell you something. You're an outstanding class. Like you're the best class we've seen here in 3, 4, 5 seasons. Easily the best class we've seen. You're outstanding. You're outstanding. Yeah, because his class sucked. All right, so left hand in, wide. Close the door. Oh my God.
You should probably explain that before.
Okay, so some of you are new, some of you are not new. So listen up. Everything we do comes from the heart on this team. So the team chant is left hand in, and when they say left hand in, why? Everyone says closer to the heart. It's a bit cheesy, but you'll get used to it. Go for it, Elliot. Left hand in, why? Closer to the heart. Plan on 3. 1, 2, 3, run! Well done, guys. Well done.
After the rookie training showed much promise, the coaches made their way to the cafe to discuss which players left a good impression. As not all the rookies make the team, the selection process is ruthless but necessary.
I've got down as a linebacker. Yeah. I think you said to me you couldn't catch. You did? Yeah. Give us that.
No, he's down as a linebacker. There's no trades here. There's no trades here.
You know, from our point of view, we try not to let go of anyone who wants to stay around. But with some players, it's just a safety issue. They're physically perhaps not ready to play the game.
He's a guy you said to me, like he's like good size for tackle. He's also just needs to get in the gym.
Aye, but once he's had a year or 2 in the gym,
if he's had a year
he won't start. He won't play.
Yeah, I think if he's had a year or 2 in the gym,
I think he's how old is he? 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, give him a couple of years in the gym.
And then
It's really right now. It's all about player safety and just making sure that they can't get hurt in any way. You know, teaching them the fundamentals of tackling, fundamentals of blocking, catching, and then we then progress from there into pads and helmets.
You have to lift 455 kilograms. I hope I'm not saying this wrong. I'm hoping it's not 450. Yeah, so you do that in 4 lifts, and if you get it in 4 lifts, you get either this black t-shirt, because that means you're Iron Man, like you're strong basically.
If you just don't show up, your entire unit's gonna run. That means the next practice session we have on the field, all of us are running and you're watching. If I wouldn't show up, everybody would kill me after practice. So you better have like a job or a job interview or something real good, because otherwise everybody's gonna run and they're gonna hate you for the rest of the season.
We can't slag because we won a championship. A championship doesn't mean nothing unless you repeat it again, or if you make sure that it wasn't a fluke, because that's what people think right now. People are like, yeah, Stirling Clansmen. They had so many seniors on offense. That's the only reason why they made it. So you want to repeat yourself and make sure people know that you're a team that they need to like recognize. They need to like always think about that team is going to take it to the top. Is going to take it to at least the top 3. So yeah, keep pushing.
Every time we tell you anything about this in tackling, what I need you to understand is that because we're concerned about your safety, we need you to obey what we're telling you. Whatever we tell you, you need to listen and do. Right? Don't do whatever you think is best. Let me worry what is best for you when it comes to tackling. All right? And I need you to trust me, to trust the coaches. Okay?
Ball in with your eyes, Joshua.
When you're
Put the ball in with your eyes.
have those front fingers over the ball, not like that. Yeah. Over the point of the ball. Ready, go.
Good.
Ready, go.
So there are 9 coaches on the offense and defense. There's something called a coordinator, who are the people that are responsible for calling the play. So on defense and on offense, there's coordinators. Both of those people originally played for me and now coach with me. And that's particularly satisfying, that the team's now run by ex-players who are now coaches. I find that quite satisfying.
From the very first day, everyone's just, all the coaches have just been so welcoming, outlining what they expect. This is what we want you to be, this is how we're going to get you there, and now it's time for us to work with you to get you there. And it's just been fantastic. Like, even if, like I said, something does go wrong, then they will help. They won't try and put you down or say you're out of the team or blah blah blah, because I know that some coaches do that. They will use threatening behaviour and threatening language, and yes, it's been fantastic. I can't say a bad word about them.
Although training has been going on for multiple weeks now, Coach Orr isn't happy with the pace of progression.
What I hear about pre-season, and nothing's slick, nothing's moving the way it should be moving. Things like this, drills like this, that they've done 100 times, but because it's the first time, they're going so slow at it. Right now they're running an evasion drill, so it's basically just how they get past and get to the ball carrier. And those guys are actually working one of the drills that we're actually running, that we'll run in games.
Will it pick up?
Always does, but that doesn't stop it frustrating me. They do train over the summer, but not specific drills, so they're mostly in the gym over the summer.
Okay.
But it all happens way too slow for me the first week and the second week and the third week, and then slowly but surely it starts to come together. But it's too slow just now.
It's way harder than you would expect for first practice. You've been doing a lot of gym work, but this doesn't come close to it.
Strength and conditioning is definitely more professional. It's the second outside practice so far, so I don't know about yet, but considering the strength and conditioning training, I'm guessing it's going to get a lot harder.
Oh yeah, this is piece of cake.
At least I hope that, right? I want it hard.
No, this is a piece of cake. You wait till we get proper in season, proper pads, proper training. This you'll beg for practices like this.
Yeah, we're only able to practice a certain amount of time because the university won't allow you to practice more than that, because your degree goes before like any sport you do. But we make it work with the time we have, or the coaches make it work with the time they have. And like Coach always says, like college coaches that come by and like, this is the closest I've ever seen a program come to college football programs. So yeah, it's pretty strict, everything, and a lot of practice.
These are the rules, okay? Everyone just take a quick note of this. All phones to the front of the classroom.
Now.
Okay, just now. Okay, when I would catch guys on their phones. Okay, now some people would say they're taking notes, etc. You take note on pen, on paper, okay?
You go through the playbook, you go through defensive scout film, so like you break down what the offense of the other team is doing. And you're trying to scheme on that, which Coach P is really good at. To be honest, I don't think I've ever had a coach that broke it down that record ever, and I've been playing for a while now. It's 9 years, so.
Let me give you a fact, and you can check in your hoodie. If you remove our offense from the games, all the games, we would have lost the final, which is terrible, because Birmingham scored one more touchdown than us on defense. Because you were scoring enough points to win the game, with or without the offense scoring points. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So I'm fed up. I'm fed up. This is a competition. So I'm going to tell you one thing. Enough said? How do you do this? Quickly. We're going to practice now, guys. Keep this in mind. You want to be top scoring defense? Believe me, if we're top scoring defense, we're going to win every single game. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I want to have, for the third year in a row, the top defense. I want you to have that. It's not even ours, it's yours.
It's actually been an advantage. I've enjoyed, because with the American football I kind of have a break from studying for my courses, and so that break that I need from my essays or my reading up on textbooks or whatever, I can just have a break for an hour, learn about American football, just be in an environment where I'm learning and about the sport that I now enjoy, and then go back to my reading and do my textbooks. So if you have an equal balance of fun, of American football and university work, then perfect.
If he's charging, you've got to take it from mentally.
Yeah.
So that's not
Geez, thank you for your contribution, fella.
That's getting there as hard as you can.
Imagine that's the sideline over there. So what we're doing is we're squeezing him towards the sideline. That's it. That's it. So he's got nowhere to go, but forward or into you.
So, where do we start? 5? Yeah, because it's a different time. If you catch a ball like this because you're afraid of dropping it, push-ups. Alright? So the only option for you to catch a ball like this is if you're a linebacker and coach is throwing a ball to a goal. Okay? So catch the ball at the highest point. I told you earlier.
Hey, here you go.
Ready, go.
Coach, KB's just been knocking my hip out of place, man. They told me it was titanium, they could never break. So you're going to say left hand MY?
Close to the heart.
No, you're going to say left hand.
Left hand in.
Left hand Y. One more time. Hold on. One more time. Left hand MY is what you're going to say.
Left hand in Y.
Okay, one more time like you actually mean it.
Left hand in.
Alright, one more time. You do it. Alright, boy.
Too much roids.
He's lost.
Left hand in Y. Clansmen on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, listen up, guys. Listen up. So you got another Friday like this, which is kind of low tempo, and then we're lifting the tempo going into proper pre-season mode, alright? Proper regular season mode for the first pre-season game.
Got the first pre-season on Sunday, nervous, especially after the first full pad session on Wednesday. But we've got another training session, just try and soak as much in as I can. I can only do my best at the end of the day. At this moment in time, I'm just looking to play the game. I just want to learn as much as I can. I'll take the game time if and when it comes. Just do my best. That's all I can do.
Listen up, guys. Take this serious, all right? Okay, let's practice, enjoy it, but take it serious. Okay? I told you one thing at the beginning of the year. We prevent everyone from running inside. We never allow anyone to run inside. Yeah, that's clear with everyone? And we stop them running outside. I want them to pass, and if they're passing, I want you to intercept the ball. This year for us is about scoring touchdowns.
Is everyone clear what we do on the sideline? Yes. It's the same for every game, every drive. Okay? Every game, every drive. Starters, pick up a ball, sit down. Okay? Linemen on the left bench and everyone else file in behind them. Okay?
There's a famous coach in America called Lou Holtz who said he was an average coach when he had average players and a great coach when he had great players. And the players make the difference. If your players are good enough and they can execute the scheme that the coach has put in place, then you will be successful. We've been very fortunate that for the last few years here we've had some very, very good players.
But now we're looking at who we're going to actually play. So a lot of the rookies will be development players for next year. Or, you know, if we're up by 50 points, we'll put them on and give them some experience. But on both sides of the ball, there's 2 or 3 guys that we think will be good enough this year to actually play. They might not start, but they'll play.
Take it, man. Take it.
Is this fake fitness?
Yeah,
You can't coach that.
No, you know what? It's like
he either has the moves or he doesn't. Today, this guy completely took over in all phases of the game. He really impressed the crap out of the coaches, and we're particularly glad that we brought him, Jerome. Just before you break up, can I just say one thing to all of you? We want you to play and win it for yourself. Hold the rope. Hold the rope. See y'all next week, man.
With the first scrimmage over, the team are ready to take on Newcastle in their second scrimmage.
Five minutes, guys. Going down the field. 5 minutes.
Which one's the take it? Is that side?
So I want you to take these seriously as if you were playing our own offense.
If you get on the field, this is your last chance to impress before we pick the stars. Guys, we're now at the stage where we're sorting out for you to remember to bring stuff to fix helmets, or remember to bring your own tops, or remember to bring your gum shields. When you do that, I promise you, you move down the depth chart. We don't want to be your mums and dads, fellas. Be men. Now, we're about to line up for the hit drill, and then we'll go into card check, and then we're going to start. It's your very last time.
Yes, coach.
Yes, Janice. If you ask me about bananas, I'm going to hit you.
No. Like redshirted cutting.
Yes, okay, so good question. So as last week, guys, quarterbacks are redshirt unless they run. You ready?
Yes,
coach. You ready?
Yes, coach.
You ready?
Yes, coach. Yes, coach. Yes, coach.
Well, it's been harder for us simply because we've lost so many stars from the national championship team. There's 9 stars off the offense, including the linemen, and there's 4 stars off the defense. So that's been very, very hard. Trying to replace that amount of people on an 11-man squad, each side of the ball, 11-man team unit, has been really, really hard, and is still proving quite challenging. by the time those players were fourth-year seniors here, they know everything that there is to know about what it is we're trying to achieve. So you're able to make adjustments very, very quickly in game. Whereas here, we're still sometimes trying to get people lined up properly. So it's very, very challenging. But you know, that's why university football's so appealing, because every 4 years you have an opportunity to reinvent yourself and go again.
For me personally, it was just like, what are you doing with your life right now? And I was like, pretty much nothing. I'm just working. I did college, didn't finish it. I was like, I need to do something with my life. And I was thinking about going back to studying. Didn't have the grades to go to university right away, and I didn't want to like do 3 steps again before I actually got in, because then I'm 40 before I actually go to university. I don't have time for that. And then coach was like, hey, you can get your degree and play football at the same time. I was like, let's do this. I'm gonna go for it. Why not? Like, it's just a great opportunity. And it's lucky that they have the access course as well, that if you don't have the grades, but you show that you want to be here, that you still be able to like get into university. It's just great. It's just a great opportunity. Yeah, I love it.
In terms of life, hopefully playing, hopefully being up to a standard in American football where I can play in week out and challenge for the people that are classed as the first team, actually gain a starting spot, go through all my modules, hopefully gaining first in all of them, fingers crossed, touch wood, and just genuinely being happy. That's all I want to be. And if I can enjoy American football and enjoy Stirling, I'll be happy. So, yeah.
We got that back. We got that back. We got that back. We got that back. We Clansmen all. We Clansmen all. We Clansmen all. We Clansmen all. We at home. We at home. We at home. We at home. Let's stand tall. Let's stand tall. Let's stand tall. Let's stand tall. We can't fall. We can't fall. We can't fall. We can't fall. This is our year. This is our year. This is our year. This is our year. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Remember, no contest.
I don't know what to do in the drill.
Yeah, I know that. I was just checking you paid attention.
Turn around, coach. Turn around.
Oh, you didn't get that on film, did you? I don't ever forget my bag.
Coach. All right, so I think the camera thing is not going to work.